like to take a brief moment just to ask all of our panelists for their key takeaways or their final thoughts. Terry, we started with you. Perhaps you'd like to give us some of your key takeaways from today's presentation.
Well, key takeaways, I realized that I didn't provide direct links to get to the pledge to lawyer well-being or the National Task Force report or the toolkit. However, Dr. Gunderson was smart enough to include a slide that has the link to the American Bar Association's Commission on Lawyer Assistance Programs. If you go to that website that she has provided you in the PowerPoint, you can find all of those items. In addition, you can find our anti-stigma campaign, where we're going to have a podcast with people telling their story of recovery in an effort to further reduce the stigma. But also you can go there, and I encourage you to go there if you are in a position with your employer to perhaps promote taking the pledge. Go look at the pledge there, approach your organization with it, use the toolkit to help you within your organization in building well-being, and check out those resources. And I thank Dr. Gunderson for including that link in her PowerPoint.
Excellent. And then we moved on to Link. Link, do you want to give us a few of your key points or key takeaways from today?
Yeah, just a couple. I think that my discussion about the disease of addiction and its chronic nature and how it's a chronic disease, just like others, I hope that helps normalize the way people that listen to this podcast or webcast, I hope that normalizes the way they perceive addiction. You know, the stigma obviously comes from a lack of knowledge and a lack of understanding. And so I understand why the stigma is significant, because for a long time, people looked at addiction as a moral failing, as a personal failure, as a lack of discipline. And I think those kind of pejorative terms have made people hide and run away from the disease, and they're afraid of the stigma. So I hope that understanding the way the disease works has at least helped normalize it. And I would hope that it helps people take a step forward in terms of having some level of compassion for people that have the disease, and have that compassion turn into, you know, everybody being more open to finding the treatment for the disease. The second thing I think that is worth a takeaway is that lawyers are just wicked good at what they do. And that involves what I talked about, their perfectionism, their ability to persuade, their ability to be verbal. And it's almost like, are those skills going to be used for the good or evil? And in their profession, when they've been well, those are used for good. They help us do our job in representing our clients in a competent and zealous way. But when they're used for evil, which is for this disease, those same qualities can keep the disease hidden from both the lawyer and other people. And I think lawyers are unique in that way, in that they have a skill set that makes it very easy to be effectively high functioning and appear that way. So those are my two primary takeaways. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Gunderson. We then went on to you. Perhaps you'd want to close us out with a few of your key takeaways today.
Sure. I'm a runner, so I'm going to use an analogy from running, that practicing law is a marathon. It's not a sprint. And that you have decades of time to practice law, and you don't have to do it all within the first 10 years. There's research looking at happiness, how it correlates to income. And above $75,000 a year, income does not increase happiness. So keep that in mind. The other thing I'd say is periodically switch your irritations. If I'm getting burned out on a type of work in my practice that I just need a break from, I will not accept referrals with certain diagnoses and do something different. And I think you have the same opportunity in law. And thank you.